Hi, Stuart. Can you talk about trust in your spiritual path?
You talk about trust.
Yes.
I mean, without trust in life and trust in what life provides to you as a human being, you're like a dead person. You live in a frightened world. You live in a world that's a skeptical world, doesn't trust anybody, doesn't trust whatever life gifts life presents. You deny yourself a way of truly embracing the world you were born into. And I know, yes, everybody's been hurt and, family and relationships, we've all gone through all kinds of stuff. But, the answer to the situation is not to live secluded, some cave somewhere and not trust anything that goes on. The answer is, how do I get big enough in myself to be able to trust what life has taught me about me? Why did I attract those situations that created a lot of pain and unhappiness? What about me do I have to change? And if you begin to trust that, you understand your whole world changes. The way you perceive life changes, the way you look out at the world changes. And I think this is a very important element. If you don't, and you just kind of lock yourself in a skeptical cage somewhere, prison somewhere, I mean, that becomes your life. And nothing of any kind of real value can ever come into you and be part of your life. Even if you make tons of money, you'll never trust, because there's a part of you that really denies that anything in the world really is there to nurture you and provide love and to provide, wisdom and knowledge and a way of living your life on a totally different dimension. Trust is very important, and it's a hard thing for people to do because people have been hurt. We've all gone through hell at one point or another in our lives, and it makes us very skeptical. It makes us very cynical. It keeps us from really trusting, what the world offers us every day. And my answer to that is, you can't run away from it. You got to learn, how do I fix me? Why do I get into this state of mistrust? Why do I get cynical about things? Why do I think people are out to get me? And once you begin to ask those questions of yourself, you can work on yourself and fix it and build the strength inside that enables you to be able to fix all of that mistrust and all of that kind of energy that has you just locked up in some kind of prison somewhere that exists inside yourself. Now, I'm not saying this is easy to do. As I say, everybody has been hurt. We've all gone through very difficult situations, I think, I suspect. I mean, I can't imagine there's anybody here that hasn't gone through a difficult situation. And the lack of trust is easy. How do I build an inner life that enables me to embrace life, to let life be this amazing teacher that is teaching me about me, with all the things I have to learn that help me become more of a human being? And trust is one of them. I hope that answers your question because I don't know what else to say about this subject.
Yes, it's perfect. Thank you.
Does anyone else have a question? I mean, it's very easy to latch on to negative energy in the world. There's so much of it, and it comes out of everybody. I mean, you just have to pick up a newspaper, read the media online or whatever, and there's so much negativity in this world that a lack of trust becomes ingrained inside us. And yet we're starving for exactly the opposite: love, joy, innocence, innocence with strength. And we deny ourselves that, and it's very easy to say, that all of life is bullshit and this, and it is. People, it's crazy. And mostly it's crazy because people themselves, nobody in the world does trust anybody else. And that's the kind of mishmash of energy that we live in. We have to get stronger. We have to get to a place where our elevated humanity and open heart and living with love, living with consciousness, the highest levels of our humanity are important, and we're willing to work to get that. And in order to get that, you've got to build a system inside that allows you to do it. Does anyone else have a question?
Stuart, I have a question.
Yes, Bob?
Of late, I've been getting into experiences that I have not experienced before. And in this question of trust, how do I develop the foundation to trust myself and what I do?
Well, Bob, I just spent 10 minutes answering that question. You know, look, how do I try? You are responsible to build a system inside that enables you to trust even the negative things in your life and what they are teaching you about you and how you have to develop the highest levels of your own humanity. The only person who can do that, Bob, is you. You understand? How do I do this? I mean, there's no answer I can write on a blackboard. You got to build a chakra system that is strong enough to do it. What is this teaching me about me? What new experiences are coming? And new experiences are pretty wonderful if we can use them every day to grow in our lives. We need new experiences. Otherwise, everything gets so boring and old and mundane and mediocre. You know, we need to have new experiences come. And how do you deal with them? You got to have a system inside that enables you to truly embrace them. What are they teaching me? What am I learning from this about me? How can I grow because of these new experiences? It's like I like to have new students, because every one of them brings something new. What am I going to learn from this person? How can I? Like Rudy once told me, there are no bad students, they're just lousy teachers. He once told me that, and it's true. Every student, every person has something to teach us. And the moment we mistrust that way of living is the moment we deny ourselves the right to grow. We're protecting ourselves. So that's my answer. New experience, new people, it's wonderful. I mean, I've done all these podcasts, every one of them was new and different and a different kind of person. There were some of them I couldn't even understand what they were talking. They were talking English with African accents. I could barely understand what they were saying to me. I mean this. So I kind of stopped doing it. I cut a lot of those people out, because there was it wasn't teaching me anything. And yet everyone gave me 5 stars. Even the ones who I couldn't understand gave me 5 stars. You know, because you speak a bit of truth and people listen. So the whole answer to that is new experience is great. And how do you trust it? You trust it by being a big person inside yourself that is enabled to listen to it and learn what it's teaching you. That's how you trust it. And then it'll always bring something positive and almost always bring something negative. Everything brings positive and negative. What do I learn from the positive? What do I learn from the negative? How do I grow because of what I'm going through? And I think that's a pretty remarkable way to live. Life becomes a friend instead of something that scares the hell out of us because of its newness. And there's all kinds of situations. I mean, I sent out a bunch of poems. I hope you all got them. And there was one there, and it was based on a true story about this old woman I used to know at the Tibetan Museum in Staten Island, the Jacques Moshé's museum there. And she used to kind of run the place. And she once came up to me, she became a friend of mine. She came up to me and she said to me, just what I wrote in that little poem about, everybody's afraid of reincarnation. They don't know what they're going to. She said, me, I want to come back as a spring day. I mean, I tell you, I have never forgotten that. I have never the trust that she will come back as a spring day and have one day when she comes back. I mean, it was so beautiful that I have never forgotten her saying, and this got to be 60 years ago when she told me that. Just complete innocence, love, openness to God. Does anyone else have a question they would like to? I'll never forget that old woman. I mean, I was 22 years old at the time, and she used to walk around in this peasant's dress with a, thing around her head, and it was, the hippie area. She was an old hippie, and she was, and then she came up and said that to me, and I've never forgotten it. Just to be a spring day. Does anyone else have a question? Okay, if there are no more questions, there'll be class this evening and also, on Sunday, this class and also Sunday evening. So I'm looking forward to seeing everyone. I apologize for sending out this invitation so late. You know, I thought I did it. I got so busy with stuff, but you all got it, and thank you for being here. Thank you for having patience with me. God bless you all. I'll see you
Thank
soon.
you. Thank you.
Thank you, Stuart.
Thank
Great
you.
answers.
Thank you.